Have you ever watched a TEDx talk and just thought, I could do that? Well, guess what? You absolutely can. Turning a passion for great ideas into a real-life TEDx event is a journey, and today, we're basically handing you the map. So let's pull back the curtain and look at the blueprint that can take your idea from just a dream to the actual TEDx stage.
And you know, that quote really nails it. Organizing a TEDx event is definitely a marathon, not a sprint. It might seem like this huge, daunting project, but when you break it down with a solid plan, it's not only manageable, it's actually incredibly rewarding. This structured approach is the secret sauce that turns a great idea into a truly great event.
So, here's our game plan. We'll start with the big picture, the overall blueprint. Then, we'll get into laying the critical foundations, about 9 to 5 months out. After that, we'll talk about building momentum, then hitting that final countdown. And finally, we'll look at showtime itself and, importantly, what happens after the applause dies down. Okay, think of this first part as our 30,000-foot view. You wouldn't build a house without a detailed blueprint, right? Well, you can't build a successful event without a timeline. This is going to be your guide from that very first spark of an idea all the way to the final video upload. So here it is, the entire journey at a glance. We start with the foundations. That's the groundwork that makes everything else possible. From there, we build momentum, making the event feel real by booking venues and speakers. Then comes the final countdown, where we lock in every single detail. And we don't stop there. We'll also cover that crucial post-event phase, because that's where your ideas really take flight.
All right, let's dig into that first critical phase, the foundations. This is where we go from a cool concept floating in your head to a concrete project with a name, a team, and a real purpose. Honestly, these early steps are the bedrock of everything to come. Get this right, and you're golden.
Okay, first things first, and this one is non-negotiable. You have to apply for your TEDx license. And give yourself plenty of time. I'm talking at least 6 months in advance, because the approval can take a couple of months. While you're at it, you really need to nail down your event's vision and theme. TED actually asks about this in the application. Once you get that license, it's time to assemble your core team and start sketching out an initial budget.
And this brings me to a super important point. You absolutely cannot do this alone. Don't even try. Putting together a small, dedicated core team is fundamental. You'll need a speaker curator to find and coach your speakers, a marketing lead to build all the buzz, an operations lead to handle all the on-the-ground logistics, and a sponsor lead to manage the money. This is your A-team, your event's brain trust.
All right, so once your core team is in place and the foundations are set, you're ready to start building some serious momentum. This is the really exciting phase where your event starts to take physical form, where all those abstract plans become actual, tangible things. The excitement really starts to kick in here. In this phase, it's all about action. You're booking the actual physical space where this whole thing will happen. You're finalizing that speaker lineup. And trust me, you want to do this early, maybe 2 or 3 months out, so you have plenty of time for coaching. This is also when you go public. You launch your website, you start promoting the event, and you lock in those key financial partners. It starts to feel very real, very fast. Now, as you're planning all this, you need to keep one number burned into your brain: 100. For most first-time organizers, your event is capped at 100 attendees. But look, this isn't a limitation. It's a feature. It's designed to create this intimate, high-quality experience that's all about genuine connection and powerful ideas. And here's another key rule for you: 25%. At least a quarter of your program has to be made up of official TED Talk videos. And this is actually brilliant because it connects your local stage to the global conversation. It gives your audience this great mix of live, local speakers and some of the most powerful ideas from around the world. All right, the energy is really picking up now. Welcome to the final countdown. That last month is intense. It's a whirlwind of confirming every last detail and seriously ramping up your promotions to make sure you have a full, buzzing room on event day. In this final stretch, it is all about the details. You're confirming all the AV and production plans. You're reviewing every single speaker's final script. You're creating what's called the run of show, which is literally a minute-by-minute playbook for the entire day. You're briefing all your volunteers, and you're holding a full dress rehearsal to iron out any last-minute kinks. This is where precision prevents panic. And just like that, we've arrived. It's showtime. On the day of the event, your role shifts. A lot. And just as importantly, we're going to look at what happens after the audience goes home. Because the life of an idea, well, it doesn't end when the curtain falls. So, on event day, your job description completely changes. The whole time you were planning, you were the architect, right? You were designing and building this entire thing from the ground up. But now you become the coordinator. Your job is to oversee the flow, to troubleshoot problems as they pop up, and just make sure the machine you built runs as smoothly as possible. But hey, your work is not over yet. Remember, spreading the ideas is the whole point of this. So you'll send thank yous to everyone who helped make it happen. Then you'll upload every single talk to the official TEDx YouTube channel. This is mandatory, and it's so crucial for giving your speakers a global platform. Finally, you gather feedback from your attendees, and you file your official report with TED to close the loop.
So there you have it, the complete blueprint, from that first little spark all the way to global impact. The timeline is mapped out, the milestones are crystal clear, and the path is set. The only question left is the one you see right here. What idea will you share with the world?